Hi, welcome to another edition of Danny's Hot Takes. Today we'll be going over the Genestealer cult's rules for the Psychic Awakening, the Greater Good.
Danny, we rebranded to Mob Rules Presents.
Oh, sorry.
Danny's Hot Takes.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay. We'll let this one slide.
We gotta figure out this communication.
Danny, John and I are tired of you hogging all the credit.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you guys' input. You guys do good work. Alright, so today we're going to be looking over the Genestealer cult's rules.
I don't think he was being serious at all.
I don't think so either.
I am being serious. You guys are important to me. Your feelings are important. They're not. Alright, so we're going to be going over the Genestealer cult's rules. Again, we're not going over the fluff. Check it out, though. It's awesome. This book has some really great battles. And like the little fluff blurbs on the sidebar are really good.
Yeah, it's some of the best writing I've seen in any of these. Like there's this right here.
I know, yeah, it's great.
That is hot. So good.
All right, so
this one starts out with errata.
Yeah, a lot of stuff on ambush markers and brood brothers. A lot of the stuff from this book is not necessarily compatible with the new Astra Militarum stuff from this section. Like you can't use any of the new Militarum Tempestus stuff because they gets replaced by the Brood Brothers rules. So just keep that in mind when you're building your stuff. It goes over like some matched play changes. If you are in ambush, you do count as being tactical reserves. I think that's kind of the main thing that they kind of ratted. But they do go over custom cult creeds, some new stratagems, cult-specific psychic powers, and then finally a name generator. Although why this one is last,
which
I'm not
got
sure.
relegated to the last.
Yeah, I'm
super not proud of that one.
Yeah, he really phoned it in. The guy who was making these name generators.
He was like, "You want a name generator for cultists?" What?
Jesus Christ!
Do you think that maybe the guy
they all just named Sam?
The guys at GW headquarters were looking at it like, well, these rules all suck. The GSC rules are awesome, so we'll put the name generator at the end, but we have to give them something good for Tau and Astra Militarum.
Yeah, for sure. We'll give them their name generators.
They didn't require 2 pages of FAQs before this action.
All right. So we'll move on to the first section here, which is cult creeds. I think we've got about 12 different cult creeds in here. Again, you get to pick 2 of these.
Build your own cult fleet.
Yep. So first one, Hunter's Instincts. Until the end of the first battle round, add 1 to advance and charge rolls for units with this cult creed. Not bad.
No,
not bad.
Especially, it works.
It's kind of like half of Four-Armed Emperor, because Four-Armed Emperor also gets the +1 to charge on the turn that they come up from Underground Advance. So not bad. Innate Fighters. Actually, it's not great either.
I was going to say, because it's not coming up, it's just the first battle
round, right.
Yeah, all right.
Innate Fighters.
Well, if you're coming out of blips, then you're automatically first battle round anyway, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
But if you're coming up from Underground Ambush, which is deep striking, you don't get +1 to charge like they do for Cards of the Four-Armed Emperor. So you got Innate Fighters. This one here, whenever you make an attack by a melee weapon in a turn where you charged, was charged, or performed heroic intervention, reroll to hit rolls of 1.
Nice.
Not bad. You got Thralls of the Patriarch. Have the number of models that flee from a failed morale test.
I mean, morale stuff is all good and great and everything, but it's...
GSC has a lot of ways to mitigate morale, though.
Already.
So,
that seems...
especially just being close to a Patriarch just makes you immune to morale tests.
Right.
So you got Seasoned Enforcers. This one's very good. This is probably one of the best ones.
Mining lasers.
Yep.
Sweet Jesus.
So you don't... Infantry units don't suffer the penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons.
Oh.
That's pretty good. So you can come up from Cult Ambush, blast somebody with mining lasers.
Just right in their face.
Powerful. Yep. Agile Outriders is kind of like the Rusted Claw ability. You don't suffer biker units or models don't suffer the penalty for moving and shooting heavy weapons or the penalty for advancing and firing assault weapons. Especially when you have a whole unit with shotguns, pretty good.
So, that's biker. So Achilles Ridge Runner, right?
It's not a biker.
It's not a biker?
No,
okay.
it's a vehicle.
Buggy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 4-wheeler, right?
That's a buggy. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not a biker, so that's the important part. Armor-piercing ammunition. When resolving an attack made with an auto pistol, auto gun, or heavy stubber by a model with this cult creed against a unit that's within half range, it gets an extra AP -1. Okay. It's okay. Munitions expert, add 1 to the strength characteristic of grenade weapons models that this cult creator are equipped with. So this is important for things like demolition charges.
Oh.
Also, you can do, there's the grenadier stratagem, so you can have a whole unit throw like 10 frag grenades. So that's, or mining charges, I think is what they're called. So they'll all be like strength 4. That's kind of cool.
The demolition charge goes up.
I think it's strength 8 to start with.
So it goes up to 9, which is huge.
Which is a big deal. That's
Yeah.
a big breaking point. Unnatural symbiosis. They previewed this one when a psychic test is taken for a cult model with this cult creed within 6 inches of another friendly cult unit. You can reroll any dice rolls of 1. Makes your psychers a little bit more, especially since, like for GSC, like they have a lot of very high warp charge powers.
Yeah.
So being able to reroll 1s is actually kind of a big deal. The Workers Arisen. This one is very good. When resolving an attack made by a weapon with the heavy weapons from the heavy weapons, heavy mining weapon list, you can re-roll the hit roll. So it's not reroll misses; it's full rerolls like they've been doing for everything. So this includes mining lasers. That's very good. So this
that is
comboed up with seasoned enforcers is really good. I think that's the money. That's the money combo out of this whole.
That is the weapon that's on top of the Achilles Ridge Runner, though, right? For the Achilles.
Right,
yes,
you wouldn't get seasoned enforcers.
but well, they wouldn't get either of them.
No.
Because the Genestealer cult rules say that your cult only affects infantry models, not vehicles. So they're the only other codex in the game other than Chaos Space Marines that don't get cult creeds on vehicles.
Oh, I feel their pain.
Yeah.
That's too bad, because that makes that Achilles Ridge Runner list.
It could make it
archetype
real dumb.
Really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Okay.
So you have Devout Worship, but that list got a bunch of buffs in here, which we'll talk about as well. Devout Worshippers. So when a charge roll is made for a cult unit with this cult creed within 3 inches of a cult hybrid metamorphs unit, you can re-roll the dice, which is cool. So I think that's either of the dice. I'm not sure actually. That's worded not great.
I think they just
so
had
even
a-
if you get
didn't
to
they
just
have
reroll
a
charges,
FAQ recently on that particular thing.
It reads to
I
me
don't
like you can
remember.
reroll both of them.
Yeah, I for sure you can reroll both. I don't know if you can just reroll one. Because they say any of the dice a lot of times when you allow them to do that. So, but I don't know what they meant here. You've got then finally you've got poison blades when resolving an attack with a bone sword, lash whip, and bone sword or cultist knife. On an unmodified to hit roll of 6, you can make 1 additional attack using the same weapon. So acolytes get 3 attacks each with the cultist knife. So I mean you can do some good damage, but then they're also not using rending claws. So these are great. I don't think any of them are going to light the world on fire. If you're going to make a shooting heavy army, the seasoned enforcers combined with the Workers Arisen is a really good combination.
Are they going to replace the existing creeds from the existing ones?
I don't know. It just depends on what you want, I think.
Yeah. I think you can tailor a little bit better than some of the existing creeds. Like, Danny's right. As far as shooting goes, comboing those two things up might be better.
Because that makes a whole different kind of list than exists currently, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think a lot of these also kind of speak to that more shooty role that you can take with that army, which is good. Because they should be able to do different things.
Yeah, a detachment of guys with mining lasers that pop up, and just go nuts with those two, just one small detachment of that.
Yeah.
Doing that, that's going to wreck some people's days.
You can definitely kill a lot of stuff with a bunch of 24-inch las cannons.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got Prepared Ambushes, the first one. They did preview this. Neophyte Hybrids get Assault 2 on their autoguns, so they can pop up 24 inches away and still shoot 40 shots or something like that if you want to. Not bad.
Hybrids are the ones that can take the mining lasers, right?
Yes, Neophyte Hybrids are the ones that take mining lasers.
So there you go.
Yep. You've got Annihilating Advance. This is with a Rock Grinder. It just smashes into people. When you select an enemy infantry unit within 1 inch and roll a d6 on a 2+, they take d3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad for 1 CP. Especially if you run them into a character, I can see doing that. That's the way to
just thump.
You've got Integrated Voxnet. This one's pretty powerful. So this is, you select a Jackal Alphas unit in your army. You get to replace priority target sighted with Vox Contact. So until you at the start of your shooting phase, select an enemy unit within 36 inches invisible. Until the end of that phase, when resolving an attack made by a friendly cult model, that's within 18 inches of him at +1 to hit. So you can only select them with this ability or target priority sided once per phase. What this does effectively is it boosts the range of her ability by a significant margin. So I think it's 6 inches and 24 inches naturally. So boosting it up to 36 inches and an 18-inch aura is pretty powerful.
So you can get a lot of models in 18 inches.
For sure. A lot of different units, because you just have to have a unit within that range. So, pretty good.
And that's the one that gives the +1 to hit or something like that?
Yeah, it's a +1 to hit. Yep. So that's really good with the Ridge Runner build that's been so popular lately.
Yeah, it is.
Because that lets you can have your Ridge Runners a little bit more spread out and give them all +1 to hit. You've got Close Range Shootout. So this is for an Adelan Jackals unit. When they're chosen to shoot with, if they shoot a pistol or assault weapon, you can re-roll, within 12 inches, you can re-roll a wound roll. Not bad, especially when you can fire a bunch of shotgun shots into them, like each model can have a shotgun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
1 CP for Violence Unleashed for Hybrid Metamorphs. They get +1 attack. I don't know if that's great. Hybrid Metamorphs already get 5 attacks apiece. So I don't know if pushing them up to 6 is okay.
Well, aren't they 55 points a model now?
Let's not talk about that. All right. So then you have Commanding Amplification for Acclamavis. That increases the range of his Proclamation Hailer by 3 inches. So that makes it a 9-inch aura, and this gives a +1 to charge. So that's a really powerful ability.
Yeah, that's good.
And this is before the battle. So this makes one guy 9-inch aura. I think that's almost worth it. I think that's worth a CP almost every time.
Oh yeah.
Depending on how many units you have popping up with Underground Ambush. You got the Gnarled Fist. So this is again before the battle. You pick an Abominant. His Chosen One ability affects cult aberrant units within 9 inches instead of 6 inches. So this, this every time you roll a natural 6 to hit, they get an extra attack. That's what that ability does. So a 9-inch aura again is better than a 6-inch aura. I don't know if it's worth the CP.
9 is always better than 6.
So this one's pretty good. Raking Fire. Select one Achilles Ridge Runner unit until the end of the turn when resolving an attack with a heavy stubber, add 1 hit and 1 wound.
That's all right. I mean, heavy stubbers.
I think that's amazing. Yeah.
So
they have 2 heavy stubbers each.
Yeah, I'm just
So
just quick math hammering out like the effect of what that would do because it's 3 attack, strength 4, AP -1.
not AP -1.
It's not AP -1.
Nope.
Oh well, mine are.
Yeah. Well, you're a jerk ass Space Marine.
But I mean, it makes clearing that chaff out of the way so you can get your las cannon shots off a little bit easier.
Yep.
On big stuff. I mean, not that you can't. If you can get the chaff out of the way, you can hit that ferret fighting in the middle.
Well, I think it's going to get +1 to wound.
That's
on his strength 4.
Well, on his strength
good.
4 plus
That's a
1
big
wound,
deal.
Is a big deal.
So it means you're wounding knights on 5s instead of 6s.
Yep.
Or 4s if it's toughness 7.
Yep.
I mean, turns your heavy stubbers into the ability to knock
so
down vehicles.
that's 18 shots that you're affecting from a 3-man unit.
Yeah.
So for 1 CP, getting a +1 to hit, +1 wound is pretty powerful. Then you've got Cult Psyche. This is another before the game stratagem. You pick a Cult Magus. He can manifest an extra psychic power every turn, and he gets +1 to the total for each friendly Cult Psyker unit within 3 inches of him.
Which is great.
That's amazing.
For how expensive their or how high their warp charges are.
And I would say one of the big disadvantages of Genestealer Cult Psychers is they can only cast 1 power per turn typically.
Usually.
And so this giving him an extra power every turn, huge as well. And with way more reliable results. Then you got Slipping Through Shadows. This is when a Sanctus model moves. When he advances, he gets to add 6 inches to his advance move instead of rolling, and he can charge. So that's really cool because he's potentially a cool little assassin model.
Yeah, he's the assassin character slaughterer guy.
Yep. Then you have Genetic Lineage. This is actually really good. So this basically turns your acolyte hybrids into Genestealers because they can advance and charge.
And they can have better close combat weaponry, right? Like the rock saws and other stuff.
Yeah,
like
they
that.
can for sure.
So that's good.
That's a very powerful one. And this is really good, especially for Twisted Helix. Twisted Helix units get plus 2 inches to advance rolls. So they can advance, 6 plus D6 plus 2 and still charge. Also kind of cool if you have a blip marker out and your opponent decides to get froggy and fly into your deployment zone, or like get close to you, you can pop them out of a marker, advance and charge them. All right, you've got Advanced in Driving. This is for a rock grinder or a truck. You ignore AP -1 and -2 against it during your opponent's shooting phase.
Sorry.
Hello, old friend.
I'm just picturing. I mean, it's really specific. Like Goliath, rock grinder, and truck. Okay, but it's really specific in the sense that I'm just picturing like the dude like, we gotta get.
I just imagine him like Tokyo drifting past
right,
like a bunch of
just
shots.
right
Maxing it.
right around corners,
Totally.
just coming in hot.
I love it. All right, then you've got Overcharged Weaponry. Pick a cult unit from your army.
Danny, this is the second time you've added a T to that word.
Overcharged Weaponry. Oh, weaponry, not weaponry. Okay, sorry.
It's the first time I heard it. I was like, "Is that? Am I misreading this?"
Sorry.
a furry
Use
thing.
this stratagem in your shooting phase when a cult unit is chosen to shoot with. Until the end of the phase, when resolving an attack made by a clearance incinerator, heavy mining laser, or heavy seismic cannon, add 1 to the wound roll. So this is cool again for Ridge Runners.
Oh my
Because
God.
they do have heavy mining lasers.
Yeah.
So that's a D3 shot last cannon with +1 to wound. So they're only
Oh,
9s
God.
on 2s. That's good, right? Mm-hmm. Yep, agreed. And then Heart of the Creed, this is for a Primus model. It upgrades him. This lets him use an additional Meticulous Planner when he comes up. And that lets him pick a unit, and when in the fight phase, you get to reroll 1s to wound against them. So he gets 2 units instead of 1.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. All right. Final thing we have here, we've got, besides the name generator.
The
which,
important
like,
things.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I don't want to spoil it. But all the cults that already have rules will get their own individual psychic power, which is great.
Just like the Hive Fleets.
Yep, exactly. So you have Cults of the Four-Armed Emperor. They get Undermined, Warp Charge 8. Boys, that's a high warp charge.
It is, but I mean,
It's a good ability, but
when you pair it with the cult Psyche,
potentially, I
You
can
know,
see it.
But that's such an investment. You have to take 3 psychers.
4 if you want it to
Or
go off
4 to go off on a
Right.
5.
Now, granted, those things could be patriarchs, so those are good. You probably want to take some of those.
fast. Yeah, I mean,
Anyway,
but what it can do is very good.
so until the start of your next psychic phase, have the movement characteristic of models in the unit and have any advance or charge rolls for that unit. Remember, this is only infantry units.
Right. It's still Thunderfire.
But, yeah, so it's like the Thunderfire, but it doesn't have to kill anybody. It doesn't have to hit anybody. You just have to pass the psychic test, and it does affect units with the fly keyword.
And it's
unlike the
It's
Tremor
the
Shells.
only way, the only GSC way to do that effectively at this point in time, right?
It's pretty good against Centurions. Like, so you don't have to deal with them.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's
not great.
It's not
but-
bad. All right, so then you've got Hive Cult, Synaptic Blast, Warp Charge 6, select an enemy unit within 18, invisible to the Psyker. Roll a d6 equal to the number of Hive Cult models from your army within 3 inches of that unit. Each roll of 6, they take a mortal wound. So, check this out.
Okay, I'm listening.
You charge a knight
Yes.
with 3 units of 15 guys.
Okay.
Then you get to roll 30 dice. That's like 5 mortal wounds. I mean, it's something. I don't think it's great.
Unless you're rolling mob rules dice, in which case it's 30 more.
Yeah, then it's 30 out of 30 mortal
It
wounds.
is only Warp Charge 6 as well. Which
Yep.
is
Yeah, it's
Which is
pretty
not
low.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, then you've got Bladed Cog, Undying Vigor, Warp Charge 6, select a Bladed Cog unit within 12 inches of the Psyker. Until the next Psychic phase, they get a 5+ field of panic on them. That's a good power.
Yeah, that's good.
That's solid. Too bad Bladed Cog is not great.
I was gonna say, does it pair well with anything Bladed Cog has though?
I think Hive Cult is the one that has the really good. I think that's the one for Ridge Runners, but I'd have to double check. Then you've got Rusted Claw, Inescapable Decay. That one's not bad. Warp Charge 6. Select an enemy vehicle unit with an 18 invisible to the Psyker. Until the end of the turn, when resolving an attack made by a weapon, improve the armor penetration by 1. So this is great in that it's kind of like Jinx for vehicles that you just need to roll a 6 on. So, like, yeah, it won't affect their invulnerable saves, but it will take down their armor save by 1. Effectively.
Nice. No, that's good.
And
yeah.
it does, so the other thing that I'm saying is this will affect all the other GSC In fact, it'll affect anything else in your army that shoots at that model. So, like, for instance, you could pop him up, do that, and then shoot a bunch of not biovores, but hive guard at him, and you get +1 AP on your hive guard, more or less. So that's cool.
Aren't they already at AP 2, so they'd be at AP 3?
Right.
Yeah, that's
not bad.
it works.
Last gasp, sorry.
No, this is the one I like.
Yeah, warp charge 7. One Pauper Princess unit from your army within 12 inches. Whenever you lose a guy on a 4+, they can either shoot or make one attack with one of its melee weapons as if it were.
Oh, so it's a banner.
Yep.
Nice. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, not
Pauper
bad.
Princess actually have stuff going on, that right? I mean,
For sure.
so that works.
And then you've got mutagenic deviation. This is for a twisted helix. Select an enemy infantry unit within 12 inches until the start of your next psychic phase. Any twisted helix models from your army get +1 to wound against them.
Yeah, another +1 to wound.
That's pretty good. But it has to be infantry, so I don't think that GSC really needs that much help against infantry units.
I mean, but I could see Twisted Helix, Ridge Runner, Ridge Runner unit popping that stratagem,
Jeez,
and
man.
also this.
What, and like running into them in combat?
Oh, is it only in combat? I thought
It's
it was
melee
shooting.
weapons.
Oh,
You
melee.
Popping
Never mind, it's
a boner
down.
over Ridge Runners. Holy cow.
People
No,
are
I'm just
excited
trying
about
to-
Ridge
I mean,
Runners.
there's other units in
They were-
Genestealer called like
I mean,
Genestealers.
Yes, there are. But
And this does work for Genestealers.
yes,
Is
it
there
does.
an infantry unit that can do close combat?
Yep.
It just I see a lot of stuff here. It's going to take a little while to digest.
There's
the cult stuff. Like at first
Sure.
glance, it's not as solid as.
There's just not as much here, I would say, as
Yeah.
the other stuff.
I
So
mean, they had ideas, and they've got to be the ideas in here. Somebody's just got to digest this and figure it out.
So, I mean, this entire book, like, just to, like, kind of go everything, it's adding different ways to play and trying to move away from mono builds.
right,
So with Genestealer Call, we're seeing more options for shooting.
which is great.
More options for this stuff. There's some great stuff in the Genestealer Call part.
I think it's decent.
It's not quite as standout as just your 10 cases or your,
Right.
I'm really interested to see where the people that are very good at this come up with, because like I already have problems putting together all the stuff that you need to play Genestealer Cult well, because it's such a complicated, nuanced army, and you have to play it perfectly. But when you do, you just win. Like until you play against Space Marines, and they just have all the things that screw you over. Anyway, the point is that I'm trying to make is that like this provides some new tactics. I'm interested to see what people do to combo stuff up to really punish people with these new rules.
Yeah.
Do you have a name?
Yeah, it's Dave. We've been friends for years now, Danny.
No. What's your role?
I'm the shoe. You
my
guys
God.
make fun of me on the podcast.
36.
Heal. Thank you.
Oh.
John, 36. You are Gaskin, and do another one.
21.
Gaskin Zorbeck. God, what a name.
What a name.
What a name.
It's hot.
Yep. So that is the rules for the Genestealer cults in here. I'm really excited to see what people do.
Yeah,
with them.
I really want to see what the people that do this a lot more than us do.
For sure, right? So that kind of wraps up our review here.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed our content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out Mob Rules, a competitive podcast with a comedy problem, available wherever podcasts can be found. And if you're able to help us to continue to produce content like this, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/mobrules, where you can gain access to our Discord and connect with us about any of the content that we produce, directly in fact. And you can make fun of Dave as well and give him pictures of fish, which he really enjoys.
Yeah.
Do.
You can also listen to our podcast wherever fine podcasts are found.
And bad ones.
And
We're literally everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So thanks for tuning in. I've been Danny.
I've been Dave.
I mean, Joe.